Hello and welcome to our channel, MarshStream, your public performance broadcast platform. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. You can also donate to our tip jar and support the arts and artists of MarshStream by clicking the link below in the description. Check out our website, themarsh.org, for all upcoming live performances. Now, enjoy the show.
Hi, welcome to the Marsh. And by that, of course, these days we mean welcome to my living room and welcome to the homes of the performers you're going to see here tonight. I wanted to mention that in tonight's performance, we're going to leave a few microphones unmuted so that the performers have a little bit of auditory feedback on their performance. And at the same time, I wanted to mention that this is new work. So everything you're going to see here tonight did not exist a few short months ago. We've been gathering in the Zoom space to create new work and trying to imagine what you may connect to. So thanks for coming and joining us and being the final ingredient in this soup. And without further ado then, I would love to invite you to welcome our first performer. Let's welcome Karen Ripley.
I can't move. I can't roll over. My mom enters the room with a bedpan. I'm not crazy about staying at my mom's house, but she's the only person I know who's willing to wipe my butt, and she's home all day. 10 milligrams of Vicodin every 4 hours, 800 milligrams of Motrin every 8 hours, Robaxin 3 times a day, Flexeril as needed. I scratch off the days on the calendar trying to keep track of the pills. My healing room is my mother's den / family room / bar. Dark wood paneling with orange accents. My mother loves the color orange. Blankets, pillows, ashtray, candy dish. The pain down my right leg is so intense. The skin is peeling off. I can't feel my foot. I can't feel my toes. My mother's in the middle of tax season. I know I'm running her ragged. I see the pretty bottles behind the bar. Jameson, Smirnoff, Wild Turkey. Why'd I ever quit drinking? The TV is an old-fashioned TV with no remote. What'll it be tonight? Cosby? Roseanne? I use a cane to turn it off. Mostly I listen to the radio because I can control the dials. I dream of being a radio announcer. You don't have to have a strong back when you're a DJ. I mean, welcome to I Heart Radio live from downtown El Cerrito. I have crackers and a banana next to my bed. I wake up in the middle of the night. I have to have something for my stomach. My mom seems scared. Maybe because it's me. Maybe she's never seen me this freaked out as an adult. I mean, she's tough. She's the oldest of 9 in a homemade cabin along the Canadian border in North Dakota during the 30s. She raised all her siblings. Her mother was forever pregnant. some days she would take all the little ones outside the cabin and keep them busy and calm while their mother was inside screaming, "Oh, a new baby, let's all go back in." We never shared feelings of fear or weakness, mostly depression. I mean, I was a good little girl. I patronized my mom, and well, she was a lousy listener, let's face it. She wanted to fix this and fix that and do this and do that, and maybe shut the fuck up, Mom. I would never say that, you know. Karen, you know, when I was in pain, my parents used to say, work it out. Yeah. A good thing for sore muscles is go dig in the garden. Yeah, I'd like to punch her, but I can't move. Yeah. I don't know if there's a God. I choose to believe there is because, well, it's more fun and there's more holidays. About a year ago, I was praying to heal my relationship with my mother. It's 2 a.m. The pain wakes me up. I turn on the light. My stepfather is out in the hall. "Are you all right?" I say. It's his feet. He suffered frostbite during World War II. He has the beginning of diabetic neuropathy. He often walks around the house at night pacing. He says walking makes it feel better. He was a staff sergeant in the 82nd Airborne. Do you remember that movie, The Longest Day, when the paratrooper got stuck on the steeple? That's a true story. He knew the guy. "Yeah, when we landed in Holland, we slept in a field next to acres and acres and acres of tulips. Was the most beautiful thing I ever saw. Then I pulled up a dead Nazi and used him as a pillow." When he entered my sick room, he always had something interesting to say or teach me or engage me in discussion. Not my mom. When she came in the room, she had coffee, cigarettes, chewing gum, and turned on the TV. Well, Mom, I mean, did we have nothing to say? Has it all been said? Does she know me inside and out? I mean, maybe she didn't know how to talk to a lesbian. Maybe I didn't know how to talk to a Republican. Every month she had a new man for me to meet. Karen, B and Frank, you know, the neighbors, their son Larry just moved back in with them. He's the nice young man. Mom, he's 25. I'm almost 40. No thanks, not interested. Well, I just, you know, he's a nice man. I don't know how you could not want to be with a man. I don't understand that. One night, she came in with a highball. "Mom, I want to thank you for being here for me. I don't know what I would have done." "Well, you're my kid. I mean, it was difficult because I was doing taxes and all, but, well, really, I didn't want kids, you know. Your father didn't either. He had 5 or 6 brothers and sisters, and they had that polio epidemic. It was all so much. When we got married, we only wanted a boy and a girl. Mom, there's 3 of us. Oh, I know. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm glad you're here. Yeah. I heard a story once. A mother and a daughter went to get their hair done every 2 weeks for 20 years. One day the daughter came in alone. The hairdresser says, "Where's your mom?" "Oh, that old bitch died." "What?" said the hairdresser. I thought the world of your mother. Honey, you had 50 years to work it out with her. You needed to stop being the child and start being the adult. My mom was high femme. Long red curly hair, long red fingernails, hourglass figure, and a voice like a tired sailor. I just don't know how you don't want to be with a man. She was born on Christmas Day. Her left ear was mangled, and so she couldn't hear out of this side. She heard things wrong, and she taught us what she heard. Some people thought she was stupid. Karen, nip it in the butt. I go, Mom, I think you mean bud. That's what I said. I saw that car out my parochial vision. When I met your father, he drank to Bolivia. I don't know. One day, I get a call from Kaiser. They want me to come in for cortisone. Well, before I went, I was meditating, trying to control the pain. My mother comes in the room, turns on General Hospital. Oh, I have to see if Dr. Addison got that nurse pregnant. He's married. It was hard to do, but I said, Mom, I'd like to be alone. Oh, I'd never given my mother a boundary. I had never asked my mother to leave her room. It was her house. Oh, okay. Oh, I thought for sure you'd want some company. It never occurred to me you'd want to be alone. Yeah, I'll go in another room. Hell, we have 5 televisions in this house. An ambulance comes to get me, take me to the back clinic at Kaiser. The doctor that's going to give me an epidural has severe scoliosis. I'm sure she's a great doctor, but it was just a little jarring. Sit up. I can't sit up. Well, we'll have to do this lying down. 3 shots of Novocaine in the tailbone. It stings.
Ooh.
She pulls out a needle the size of a number 2 pencil. I start to cry. Why are you crying? I haven't given you the shot yet. I'm just getting a jump on it. They say be careful what you pray for, okay? I prayed for this. This is not quite what I had in mind. By the way, this area will flare up for about 48 hours because I'm injecting fluid where it's already extremely swollen. And it does just that. For 48 hours, the pain is excruciating. Finally, it starts to work. I can sit up. I can roll over. I can crawl out of bed on all 4s. I'm crawling around the house on my hands and knees just to get my circulation going. Mom, your carpet really needs shampooing. It's terrible. My mom raised me. She brought me food. She washed me. I learned to crawl. I learned to walk with a walker. I learned to communicate, and then I got to fly away. There's joy in this recovery. A few months later, I feel the need to return to my mother's house. I go once a week now for coffee. Mom, hey, did you see that movie 9 to 5? Oh, yeah, that was a good one. Those girls beat the crap out of that boss. Do you think women deserve equal pay? No shit, Hemlock. Mom, you might be becoming a little bit of a feminist. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, that's okay. Just don't tell Floyd.
Yay. Yay.
I'm not sure how long this takes. Part of me wants to just tell you the end, which you could Google who deciphered the ancient writing known as Linear B and see what comes up. It might say Alice Kober, or it might say a man, Michael Ventris. But is that true? Is it historically accurate? I'm not a historian. I get more interested in the little footnotes, the personal stories, than in big events. And even big events can seem completely different depending on who's telling. It's like each version is just showing that person's prejudices and preoccupations. In this case, you'll get mine. Alice Kober was born in 1906 in New York City. Her parents were recent immigrants from Hungary. Her father, an upholsterer, later a building superintendent. Alice earned a scholarship to Hunter College, where she studied Greek and Latin, the classics. When she graduated in 1928, Alice told friends that she wanted to decipher Linear B. That seems like a big thing, taking on a whole language at 21 years old. But who knows how long it takes to decipher a language? And who knows how much time you'll have? No one can know the length of their life. The Greeks had a saying like that. So why not get started early? Linear B was discovered in 1900 by an English archaeologist digging at Knossos, the ancient capital of Crete. They found hundreds of tablets with writing that dated to 1450 BCE, the age of Homer and the Odyssey, but 700 years before the invention of the Greek alphabet. So what language were they? Crete used to have its own language, but that died out, lost to history. The island is 99 miles from mainland Greece and just as far from Turkey. It's famous in mythology for the story of King Minos, the labyrinth, and the Minotaur. I had to look those up. I never really liked mythology as a kid. It's full of these intense subjects like rape, incest, that they try to gloss over. So it doesn't really make sense. And a hero will do great things because he's a hero. A woman will fall for him because he's a hero. That love is always instant. A heart inflamed with passion. And the gods can step in at any moment to turn the tables, making it all seem arbitrary, not like real life. And women don't get to be heroes. The most a woman can hope for is to be a star in the sky at her death. It's the Constellation Consolation Prize. The stars used to seem bigger back then. Before modern light pollution for most of humanity, you'd step away from the fire and they'd be right there hanging above the land, brighter than any flame, which is half light, half heat. And the moon, when it's full, seems to guide you or follow you. I was reminded of this recently, camping. When you step outside, the stars begin so close to the land, they're almost near enough to touch. I don't know how many stars Alice Cooper saw in New York, or if she took time to look. She started teaching Greek and Latin during graduate school. She told students, "You know a great work when you feel the back of your neck tingle." She became a professor at Brooklyn College. It had just been founded in 1930. It was the first part of New York City University of New York that taught men and women together. A free college. It became known as the working men's Harvard because it accepted students who couldn't get in elsewhere because of their race or religion. Alice bought a house for her mother and herself in Flatbush. When she wasn't teaching, she worked on Linear B, writing out sets of symbols on little note cards that she stored in empty cigarette cartons. Alice loved to smoke. It's the one vice of hers I could find out about. Does her hard work pay off? I want to tell you, but first you have to know about the myth on Crete. King Minos received a gift from a god. Which god it was depends on what version you're reading. It was a bull that he was supposed to sacrifice to the gods. But that bull was so beautiful, so studly. Minos put off the sacrifice, admiring the bull and adding it to his herd. He thought the god might not notice, and things seemed to go well. The harvest was good. His wife about to bear a child. But it turned out that his wife, the queen, had also admired that bull. The child was born with the head of a bull, a Minotaur. Minos built a labyrinth to hold the beast, and he started a war to distract himself. He laid siege to Athens and did not give peace until they agreed to send 14 youths every 9 years to be fed to the Minotaur. Was this the kind of story that Alice was hoping to find in those tablets? There were lots of things that women weren't supposed to read back then. Even some parts of the Bible were considered inappropriate for women. But if you read Greek and Latin, you could find stories of wild pagan parties, forbidden passions. The tablets might hold the secret of the labyrinth, or who knows what else. I feel bad to say this. All the pictures I've seen of Alice, she looks unremarkable. Brown hair, pulled back, round face, a small mouth, maybe a hint of a smile. Her biographer said she tended toward plumpish, and I do not see that in the pictures. The kind of woman who'd wear sensible shoes. I think that's part of why I identify with her so much. I mean, not being a striking beauty with luscious lips. Plus, I love mysteries and puzzles. I'll devour detective novels and crime shows, waiting to see who done it, who done. Sometimes I get disappointed at the end. Do you know that feeling, like sad? When all the possibilities, all the great questions of life are narrowed down to one motive, a single act. I mean, I want a solution to the mystery, but I think it's part of why I feel lost sometimes in life. Like, I'll consider so many options and choose a course of action. I will apply myself. But then doubt starts to creep in. Like, what's the point? But Alice Kober never experienced that. She boldly set her course like a hero. After years of Athens, sending young people to feed the labyrinth, one year, the king of Athens' son, Theseus, volunteered to go and slay the beast. His father said no, but Theseus was young and bold, the hero type, and that's what they do. The ship was met on Crete by King Minos and his daughter, Ariadne. We don't know how old she was, probably 15 or 16, and she must have been beautiful, because you never hear of ugly women in these stories unless they're evil. Ariadne's father had her host the welcome feast for the sacrificees. And she saw Theseus, tall, muscled, with his hair pulled back in a braid. And she couldn't imagine him being eaten by her older brother, like her parents with the bull. Ariadne wanted to foil this sacrifice. That night, she crept to the prison and gave Theseus a ball of string, a sword, and a magical glowing crown that her cousin Dionysus gave her last year when the two of them snuck away from the royal adult boring stuff to check out the caves by the shore. Yes, Dionysus, god of wine and wild abandon. But he wasn't a god yet then. He was just a reckless teen with all these stories of who his real father was. And this crown was made of laurel twigs. It was one step up from a daisy crown. Until she saw how it glowed. Maybe his father really was a god. But that was last year. Right now, Ariadne is handing the crown to Theseus. She instructs him to tie the string to the gate of the labyrinth, sneak in, kill the Minotaur while it sleeps, and then follow the string back out. He says he'll take her with him to Athens as his bride if he survives. Do they kiss? Or even touch? They don't know how much time they have. Ariadne maybe can see the stars. I imagine it's often clear and starry on Crete. I never used to be into looking at stars and astronomy. I thought that said something about me. And then I realized my hometown, Buffalo, New York, has the most cloudy days of any city in North America. I could look across Lake Erie and see Canada 10 miles away, but the stars were too far. Did Ariadne look across the sea to Greece and dream of going there? Or was this the first time, moved by love for Theseus? Or opportunism? Or desperation? Her home life can't have been good, living with her parents after the episode with the bull and the Minotaur. Sometimes she wished they had just gotten divorced. But then she never would have been born. This is her first time to maybe leave with someone since Dionysus. And he was fun, but they were just kids. And he's not a hero type, not like Theseus. Plus, they're cousins. One time, when I was in my 20s, I went home for a cousin's wedding, and my mother pushed me to line up for the bouquet toss. The flowers came toward me, and I expected someone else to reach, but they bounced off my chest. I had to pick them up. And then watch as the groom ceremonially slid off the bride's garter and he tossed it to the line of men. Or my boyfriend at the time reached, but someone else got it. Good looking, not a complete stranger. But then I was supposed to sit in front of everyone. He was going to slide it up my leg. He got down on bent knee and I turned, we're cousins. Ariadne hears a sound. Is that an animal? A fight? Ka-chunk, ka-chunk. Alice Kober used a hole punch to mark the index cards that she cut out of old envelopes, postcards, cigarette wrappers. She was frugal during the Great Depression of the 1930s and later paper shortages of World War II. The holes were helping Alice organize the cards, where she put different sets of symbols, filing them, creating a whole dating database to see the patterns. Linear B has 87 symbols. It's too many for an alphabet. English has 26 letters, Greek 24, Arabic 28, but not enough for pictographs. Chinese has over 50,000. It was most likely a syllabary, where you have symbols for a consonant and vowel together, like Japanese, Cherokee, and ancient Mayan. But what sounds? What words? Ariadne and Theseus likely didn't share a language, since Crete had its own. The word Cretan probably means stupid, because Greeks wouldn't fully understand them. Ariadne might have tied the string to the labyrinth herself, but the rest could be explained with her eyes. Who needs words? Alice Kober worked out what were root words and endings and put them into grids. She saw lists of words with numbers like bookkeeping and deduced the word for total. Then she tackled gender, total men and women, boys and girls, cows and bulls. These were major advances that no other scholar had made in 40 years of trying, not the ones at fancy English universities or Greece or Norway or even Harvard and Yale. It was Alice Kober in Flatbush, Brooklyn. I imagine her washing dishes after her mother cooks dinner, then going to make another discovery. I want to cheer. Go Alice, for working class girls, woo! For unremarkable women, woo! For sensible shoes. You can cheer at home. Go Alice, go Alice, go Alice, go. Not that she'd hear all those years ago in Brooklyn. And cheers there, and then would be for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Well, she might have heard. I remember when I lived in New York, I could tell when the Yankees had a big game from like a mile away. So what if Alice heard the roar of the crowd? Whoa! and imagined it was for her. Hard at work as the stars twinkled overhead. Go Alice, go Alice, go Alice. Woo!
Hey, hey,
Thank you.
hey.
A lot of my friends came to the Bay Area in the late 70s. I was 29 and part of a big migration that was seeking higher consciousness. And San Francisco was the place to be. We were part of the human potential movement. We were young. Of course we had potential. What kind of crazy cockamamie thing do I hear? You quit your job running that language school in San Francisco? I'm so worried about you. Dad, the academy was a great place, but what young lady? Well, I'm not such a young lady anymore. Don't remind me of that. All your friends in Miami are getting married and having kids, and you're nothing but a roustabout. I hear my mother call from the back. Dave, what's a roustabout? Sarah, she knows what she is. Listen, Dad, I gotta go. I've got a class at the College of Marin and Music, and I found a place to live in Sausalito. I'll call you next Sunday. Sausalito. Just saying the name brings up visions of perennial blue skies, white sailboats out on Richardson Bay, beautiful people with tans getting off their boats in their deck shoes. And then there's the whole artist community. I'm so glad I found an apartment here. My apartment's a 1-bedroom, big enough for my piano, just above Bridgeway. And it has the 3 things that I really wanted: fireplace, deck, and a view. Okay, all the boxes are here. I've got my stereo set up. I'm gonna put on some music while I decorate. Okay, Linda Ronstadt, no. Queen, no. Van Morrison. Time to practice piano. Well, these scales are getting easier. Oh, that chord. Oh, it's sunset. I cannot resist walking out at my deck as the sun is setting over Mount Tamalpais. It sends glistening rays across Richardson Bay to the homes in Tiburon and Belvedere. The windows with the light reflecting look like they're on fire. Linda, you gotta come visit. I got this great apartment and I got a job at Flynn's Landing. It's a restaurant. I walk to work, I stop in at Cafe Trieste and then go upstairs. I love sitting up in the morning. I open up those big glass sliding doors, look out at the marina and smell that fresh air. And I leave with a ton of money in my pocket and go to music classes. I'm so glad I've decided to do this and give up all the responsibility I've had. This is just what I imagined. Oh, you remember my cousin Margaret? She's coming to visit. She sounds so mysterious. I can't wait to hear what's going on. I'll let you know and give you a call. Bye-bye. Margaret, come on in, but not another word till you tell me what's going on. Oh, Ginger, I knew I should have been satisfied teaching law school at American University, but I knew there was something better for me. And then I discovered the loving relationships training. My life is forever changed. Well, you do seem a little lighter. Oh yeah, it's all because of the seminar. I did the basic training, and now I'm here to take the advanced training at Westerbeck Ranch in Sonoma County. Oh, I wish you would come with me. Sandra, she's the trainer, the lead trainer, and she's a certified rebirther. Bobby, the other trainer, he's also a certified rebirther. And then there's Vincent. You gotta meet Vincent. What's rebirthing? Well, let me have you experience it. Go run your tub, put on a bathing suit, and meet me back in the bathroom. I've got my snorkel with me. What? Just do as I say, Ginger. As the story goes, Leonard Orr was meditating and breathing in his bathtub and experienced himself in the womb and his entire birth. He called this meditating and breathing process rebirthing. Now, take the snorkel and put it in your mouth. This is ridiculous. No. Trust me, dear cousin, as you always have. Put the snorkel in your mouth and breathe regularly. Margaret, I'm in a bathing suit in my bathtub. Just do it, Ginger. Okay, all right. That was amazing. Margaret, well, I didn't experience that birth canal stuff or anything. It was pretty grand. Oh, Ginger, I do hope you can come with me. Can you get out of your shifts this weekend? Well, one of the advantages of working at a restaurant in a tourist town is the weekends are money. Everybody wants my shifts. I have no problem giving them away. I could have sold them. And the next thing you know, Margaret and I are in my little car driving up Highway 101 to Sonoma County. I'm on roads not traveled in more ways than one. We've got the sunroof to my car down and we're singing and having a great time. Such a lovely face. Oh, there's the turnoff. I've never been to a ranch before. Cows, figured. Horses, remember that TV show we used to watch? I feel like I'm on the set of Bonanza. Let's go find little Joe. We pull up to the building, ranch style, and go inside. We walk down the hall, and I walk into a room filled with about 20 people. There's a lightness in the room. Everyone seems so incense. Ooh, it's lemongrass, my favorite. And on the windows, there's some diaphanous curtains wafting in the breeze, making the crystals and prisms and rainbows. There's a circle of pillows around the room. Just then, this Amazon-looking redhead woman approaches me in white flowing robes. Oh, you must be Ginger. Oh, we love Margaret, so we know we're going to love you. Isn't she great, Bobby? And that long, curly black hair. It's a pearl. Just then, I feel a heat going up my arm and turn to meet Vincent. I've never been so struck by a man in my life. Commanding presence, tall stature, dark hair, flirtatious eyes, and the sweetest of smiles. Nice body. Gather round, everybody. Come on, everybody sit in the chairs. Vincent sits directly across from me. I can hardly look up. I'm feeling shy and a little brazen at the same time. Vincent, darling, will you start us off with a poem? Soaring on this flight we call life. Breathing gives us insight into ourselves and the world. I am filled with delight. So we start talking, people sharing. It feels very, very safe in the room. People are revealing things about themselves they may not have even known a few hours ago. And then I see that the sun is setting. Oh my God, the day's gone so fast. I notice a piece of paper going around the room. For Ginger, I look up. Vincent is smiling at me. He stares at you. You pretend not to notice. But whatever you're holding inside, you hold closer still. Though your eyes are lowered, something stares back at him. You know he's holding you. Thus begins a passionate, tumultuous, and somewhat scandalous part of my life. Vincent tells Sandra he doesn't want to be her lover anymore and moves in with me. We are committed to having the most loving relationship. Always tell the truth. Never go to bed angry. Support your partner unconditionally. Create a sacred relationship with spiritual intimacy. We're enmeshed in the LRT community. We travel to seminars in Washington, D.C., New York, Portland, Oregon, and even a rebirthers jubilee in Sun Valley, Idaho. Those locals didn't know what to make of all these hundreds of people walking around with snorkels in their hand. We go back to Sausalito and we settle into a really nice time in life together. I go off to work a couple days a week and take some music classes. Vincent stays home. He's writing poetry and working on getting rebirthing clients and starting some seminars. But the evenings are the best. I put on Van Morrison's album, Wavelength. Candle. I've lit a fire. Girls from Miami use Duraflames. Ginger, listen to this poem I just wrote you. I look into your eyes and I see oceans and feel a swimming sensation. Stinson Beach. One day we get up really early and drive out to Stinson Beach. It takes about 20 minutes. Beautiful drive along Mount Tam, and we get to the beach. Nobody else is there. It's a weekday, kind of overcast. We've decided to take some magic mushrooms. These better work because they taste lousy. We run down the expansive, endless beach. The mushrooms start coming on. We go down to the Pacific, turbulent teal blue. Whoa, so invigorating. Oh my, in the sky, the fog has lifted. I used to like this artist, Maxfield Parrish. He had the most scintillating, iridescent colors. Maxfield Parrish blue, I call that. And Stinson, the mountains, orange and red, and the beach is undulating. And then the laughter begins. We can't stop laughing. Everything is so funny. We get on the blanket, we roll around kissing and having the best time. Oh, look at this little shell. Oh, so cute. Oh, how about this grain of sand? This grain of sand, it's infinitesimally small, just like us. The day starts to get warmer, cooler. It was warm before. Now it's cool. And we take our blanket and wrap it around ourselves and walk down to the edge of the water. The gritty sand is kind of wet and the water splashes up on our toes. We are so much in love and holding each other as we watch the orange orb slowly descend into the seemingly placid Pacific. I think I saw that green flash they talk about. That's when we were at our best, creating, laughing, but reality starts to rear its ugly head. Shared or not so much shared responsibilities are starting to bother me. I go off to work every day and I come home. Vincent has been in the bathtub all day long. He's taken a cutting board and put it across the tub. He sits writing all day long, a little rebirthing and then writing again. Then my parents visit. What crazy cockamamie thing? Ginger, I need to use the bathroom. Dad, Vincent will be out in just a minute. What is this? Sitting in a tub all day long. Vincent, my father needs to use the bathroom. He's nothing but a freeloader. Just then, Vincent comes out with the skimpiest of towels around his waist, his 6'4" frame, as he looks down at my diminutive dad. Excuse me, Mr. Parnes. Sarah, let's go. And then there's the time I come home. Ginger, your boyfriend Vincent. I'm the ant annihilator of Sausalito. The kitchen filled with ants, but I annihilated them all with my weapon. Oh, Vincent, if you'd washed the dishes, maybe we wouldn't have had the ants. You know, I think you might want to consider taking that job your brother mentioned in Houston. No, I want to stay here with you. I'm feeling very productive. New Year's Eve. What happened? Vincent, why aren't you dressed yet? I don't think I want to go. What do you mean? Stuart's party started a couple hours ago. You said you'd go. What's the advantage of having a boyfriend if you don't have a date New Year's Eve? Oh, I'm working on a poem. You do look very pretty, so why don't you just go by yourself? I think I will. No, no, no. Vincent, take that job in Houston. This is not working for me. This is not my idea of a loving relationship. Go, go, go.
Yay! Yay! Yay!
Opening night party at the Berkeley Repertory Theater. This is the old theater up on College Avenue, Shaw's Heartbreak House. I'm in the audience and I stick around for the cast part. She is across the stage from me. I'm dancing with her, but she doesn't know it yet. Finally, I catch her eye and she smiles and begins dancing with me. Trying to make our way toward each other, many dancers in between. After 3 or 4 songs, we come to be face to face. Her face is a kaleidoscope of expressions. Staccato changes from moment to moment. After 4 or 5 more songs, we're breathless, sweating, worn out. We stop to get some water. She drinks a glass of water, then pours a glass of water over her face and wipes it off and smiles. Great performance, a great show. I loved your performance. I'm obviously enchanted. Oh, thank you. What's your name? Michael. And yours? Molly. Oh, you nailed that part. Most of my hair is actually quite original. You're good at that. You're good at that. Quick and sarcastic. Did you notice also that she is beleaguered? A noble heart struggling to be heard in a family of self-centered, fatuous idiots. So you're quick and sarcastic your own self, aren't you? Most days I am very sweet and demure. You? Oh, I'm demure too. Oh, yes, always, always. I'm a professor in Southern California, Pitzer College. I'm in Berkeley on sabbatical, trying to see if I can survive as an actor. I'm changing my life, changing my consciousness. You don't seem demure to me. Oh, totally, totally, totally. We listen to the music again. Want to dance again? We dance again and again some more. As the party is winding down, Molly grabs 3 of her friends and lines the 4 of us up in a line. Then goes down the line and kisses us each good night. These are comradely kisses among co-workers with laughter and hugs afterward. When she comes to me, she tilts her head, smiles, takes my face in her hands and gives me a full-on hearty kiss. And she hugs me. Call me soon. And then she gathers up her stuff and walks out the door. But it turns out she's married, but The marriage is an open marriage. So she and I make a romantic connection. Then it turns out her husband is fucking her best friend. So the open marriage becomes suddenly an over marriage. Molly and I move in together, and I'm getting parts and plays at the Berkeley Rep. One day, Molly is sitting on her couch, relaxed, smiling. It's very strange being human in these bodies. I love how you freely dive into it all. I have a present for you. This was my introduction to the work, The Fourth Way. Psychological Commentaries on the Teaching of Gurdjieff and Ouspensky by Maurice Nicole. Essence, centers. Man is asleep. Man is a prisoner, deluded about his true condition. Nothing else matters compared to the need to escape this prison. Oh, something in my heart responds. Nicole writes simply with profound understanding. Take it, Michael. This book is for you. We spend the next few months talking about essence and personality, about self-remembering and self-observation. When you can't observe yourself, that's what Nicole calls being asleep. I can't watch myself falling into sleep. Is there a Gurdjieff group meeting in Berkeley? Yes, it's called SAT. S-A-T, it stands for Seekers After Truth. One day we learned that the next SAT session meets on Mondays, a regular day off in theaters. It's a sign, Michael. It's a sign. You and I can go together. The SAT meeting takes place in a large house in Kensington, in the Kensington Hills. We park a block away. They told us to block at a distance from the meeting place. The house is modern, set back from the street, lots of trees. We go up on the porch and the door opens and a young woman comes out, signals us to be quiet and stands back so we can enter. The entryway is filled with shoes, neatly paired. We go on into a large room, dim lights, with 3 candles set on a low coffee table. Behind that, 3 people apparently meditating. 24, 25 other people are sitting on meditation cushions, looking at I guess their leaders. For those of you who have just arrived, we are meditating for another few minutes. Just sit and follow your breath. I sit and follow my breath. I look around. Most of the crowd has their eyes closed. 1 or 2 gawkers like me. Molly winks at me. People are wearing hippie casual, tie-dyes, sweaters, scarves, bracelets, soft pants. No sweatshirts. I'm surprised. A deep carpet, white walls, pictures on the wall, Hindu deities, I'm guessing. So who can tell us why we park at a distance and stay silent as we approach. I think to say that I did it because I was told to, but it's not a good enough joke to risk in this crowd. The work we do here is esoteric, secret. We protect the work from gossip and speculation. Over the next 10 weeks, we will examine the Enneagram of fixations. Each of us adopts a specific defensive posture, a deluded worldview, to protect ourselves from the frustration and terror of living. We choose this particular fixation at age 4 or 5. This fixation is the filter through which we perceive the world. Luckily for us, each fixation provides an avenue out of egoistic delusion and provides a means of achieving awakeness. She guides us through several exercises. One of them has us looking at each other through a tunnel made of a paper bag with the ends torn out. Notice that the person you are looking at has the same attributes as you: 2 eyes, a nose, a mouth. Consider also that you each perform the exact same functions during the day: breathing, digesting, moving, sleeping. On the way back to the car after the meeting, what do you think? It seems great. Shh. Oh, sorry. That exercise with the paper bag was deep. I could see my personality as just a skin over my real being. I was frightened, like I was floating away, out of control. Fixation 3 is ego, go, as in go, go, go. For a 3, success is paramount, failure is anathema. We're back in the meeting 4 weeks later. We've just covered fixations 1, 6, and 7. The vice is deceit. A 3 lies to himself or herself and lies to other people. A 3 is anxious to meet the expectations of other people. This is the character of an airline stewardess. The 3s love to check off their tasks on their to-do lists. This isn't me. I hate to-do lists. Of all the fixations, 3s are farthest from the heart and are self-deceptive to an extraordinary degree. Their keyword is vanity, characterized by an inner attitude of, I am God. Right, God. For a 3, the worst thing is failure, or even coming in second best. So, although extremely competitive, a 3 carefully chooses what he or she attempts. Does anyone here recognize themselves in this description? Mick, is this your fixation? I don't think so. I'm nothing like a stewardess on an airplane. There are degrees of awareness and development, low threes and high threes. It's a fixation, a type. It's how you've decided to live in this world. Every fixation is equally noxious and equally full of promise. At the end of the meeting, the leader, Kathy, takes me aside and kindly wipes the tears from my eyes. This is a very strong identification. I'm a 3 myself. I think you'll see that more and more that you are enthralled to other people's reactions to you. And you may come to see that you think someone is trying to kill you. Walking out after the meeting. So, you think you're God? No, I'm not God. I don't think I'm God. I've never thought I'm God. And if I did, I'd have to be committed, definitely. Maybe when I was a baby. When I first came to Berkeley, I was on the freeway, driving on the connector road between Highway 24 and 580. It's my birthday. I'm 30 years old. And suddenly I realize I'm not Jesus Christ. When he was 30, he was preparing to go on a religious mission with a terrible ending, the crucifixion, agony. That's the story. I'm not interested. I'm not prepared. I'm not going to do it. I feel relieved. I feel free. But before that, I guess I did think I'm Jesus Christ. Fixation 4 is ego melancholy. 4's vice is envy. They think that life is passing them by and that they'll never catch up. Back in the meeting room 2 weeks later. 4's are restless, unsatisfied. They believe that others have gotten a better deal than they have. Of all the fixes, 4's are farthest from equanimity. Highly sensitive, they tend to believe that the grass is greener somewhere else. Is Molly a 4? Emotionally manipulating, highly critical, 4's don't understand the impact they have on other people. A 4 very often becomes a slave to his or her emotional life. Sounds like Molly. A 4 expects to be rejected and so rejects in advance. They idealize a free person. They think that they will never become free. So, Molly, is this your fixation? No, I recognize myself a little bit, but I'm very happy being on the outside. I'm certainly not manipulative, and I'm unsatisfied because I'm striving to understand more than I do. After the meeting, I'm not 4. I'm not melancholy. That's not me. You are pretty highly emotional some of the time. I work in emotions. Every emotion is a story. And I don't care what people think. Four weeks later, she is spending the night with another man again. This time I track her down and I insist we talk this out. We go sit in her car. I'm so mad I sit in the back seat to give us some space. So I have a boyfriend? Maybe so, and maybe he is cruel and selfish. So what? Sounds like you want your husband back again. You're treating me the way your husband treated you. And when I found you, when we got together, you were a bag of bones, a scarecrow. And now look at you, you're healthy and vibrant. Well, that's not all you're doing. That's my work on myself. You can't have my life force. You didn't just come along and pump me up full of life, Mr. God. You're so unique. You're so special. You ripped my heart out. Oh, I wanted so much for our life to be perfect. So you found a boyfriend. A double perfect life. You bastard. You slut. So we parted company. 2 years later, I'm falling in love with a beautiful woman. And she says in conversation to me one day, I am a 2. You can't be a 2. You're too smart to be a 2. I see the hurt and insult in her eyes. Let's not talk about fixations. Good idea. Not ours or anybody else's. Okay, we'll move beyond fixations. 2 years later, we get married.
Yay! Yay! Thank you all very much for watching the show tonight, and thank you very much to the performers. And be sure to check the Marsh website for all the other great shows. Thanks a lot.
How do I describe my journey with
your mother, who takes care of you, who takes you to the doctor when you're sick? Your mother.
Good morning, New York. Buenos dias. It's me. What's up?
We went out for lunch at a sushi place where she tried sushi for the first time and she liked it.
I see that change can happen. I know things can shift and change for good.
I am dizzily dazzled with stars in my eyes.
Same level as I broke my neck. But he's not getting the same return of function I am.
And I don't want any of your smart aleck sex talk that I usually get when I get.
This is beyond the marsh because what you're doing is planting beautiful seeds for artists to grow.